I'm George A. Crawford III. I'm 50 years old as of August of 2011, last month, a couple of weeks ago. I'm a member of ARP now. I graduated from Purdue University Crandall Graduate School of Management in 1985. When I enrolled in 1983 in the two-year MS Master of Science program, the school is ranked top 5 in America. Number 4 public institution in the United States, and number 3 overall every MBA school, Master's Business Graduate Management School in the world, United States, according to Fortune or Forbes magazine. I scored 93% on the GMAT, my best GMAT score. I earned a BS in Mechanical Engineering at Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, Oklahoma in 4 years. A BS in Mechanical Engineering. Right out of high school, I scored 96% overall on the ACT on my best try. I think I was 98, 99% in math. When I went to Oklahoma State, they offered me an engineering scholarship if a certain GPA was achieved. I did not achieve that after my first semester, as I was a pledge in the Beta Theta Pi fraternity, and the pledge program had the worst hazing supposedly at Oklahoma State, and it brought my grade point down below scholarship standards. But I did graduate in 4 years. I'd say 90% of the people who started the first day of classes flunked out or dropped out, and maybe of the 99% who didn't flunk or drop out, maybe 10, 10%, 1% graduated in 4 years. That was me. I went to Shawnee Mission South High School, graduated in 1979 as a Kansas Scholar with 96 percentile overall on the ACT test and 98, 99 math part. I'm a math person, math science. I'm looking for a market rate of paycheck of $5 billion a year. I've been disrespected my entire life, told it does not matter that I'm a stock owner of Merrill Lynch or Smith Barney or Payne Weber or their parent companies. I've been arrested, jailed for trespassing and other fiction at those local Kansas City area offices on Missouri and Kansas side. Told it doesn't matter I own the place. Told my education degrees don't matter by people claiming to be managers, Merrill Lynch or whatever, Smith Barney. They've created fiction, other fiction besides trespassing to arrest me. The courthouses in Johnson County, Kansas and Jackson County, Missouri have locked me up in jail, put me in mental institutions where they've told me I'm crazy, told me I really don't own the companies. It said make-believe land, I'm crazy. And then when I prove I own them, I'm a stock owner. They say stock ownership does not mean you own the companies, or I don't own enough stock to even matter. All this bullshit has been going on since about 1985 here in the Johnson, Kansas City area. I'm bankrupt now. I'm sitting here in my $200,000, well, whatever bought for $200,000 brand new 7 years ago. I was denied an investment license to start my own hedge fund because I feel like doing it. That's why, faggots. I do whatever the hell I want to, whenever I want to. I don't work for free. And I don't know, about a year or two after I moved in here, I was denied I think the first year I moved in my townhouse, I lost my real estate salesperson's license, was denied a broker's license, and was denied my investment license, all by the Real Estate Commission and Securities Commission of Topeka, Kansas, where they babbled about telling me my genius IQ doesn't matter, it's not right, intelligence isn't right, my degrees don't matter, ownership isn't right. Those babbling idiot lawyers wouldn't give me a license. Topeka, Kansas, where the licensing office is, and the Real Estate Commission told me I wasn't fit to be a real estate broker. They used a lot of the things that happened to me at the stockbroker offices and subsequent jail time and mental institution time because of that to deny my real estate broker's license. And I think J.D. Reese, Jerry Reese, whatever, the biggest residential realtor company at the time, perhaps in the Kansas City metropolitan area, who had previously made up some crap to kick me out of the company bearing his name at the time, was owned by Berkshire Hathaway, I believe. And I was an owner of Berkshire Hathaway, and they didn't care when they called me into the office and acted like they were formally dismissing me because I evidently said something negative about the company when it was J.C. Reese Nichols. And I believe that happened when I was an affiliate part-time realtor, and I was downtown Overland Park. Some woman having a political campaign in an office in downtown Overland Park with her tits hanging out was waving at me to come in. I went in there. They were drinking beer and getting crazy. I gave the girl a J.C. Nichols referral business card when she asked me what I do, and I said I have a real estate license, and here's a card. And I think within a week after that incident, I was kicked out of J.C. Nichols referral network, and this little bullshit crap goes on, where I started with Coldwell Banker, which was owned by Sears. They made up some After a year, they made the broker who hired me was mysteriously gone. Another realtor, Todd Crum, who supposedly was a National Merit Scholar from Shawnee Mission East. I went to Shawnee Mission South. He had an MBA or something from Texas. He put me in the sleeper hold from behind when I was wearing a coat and tie, my glasses, a sport coat and tie, dressed up in nice clothes, sitting in a chair. He asked me to help him with a contract in the hidden contract room, and I was sitting there reading with my head down. He came up from behind me, put me in the wrestling sleeper hold. He had claimed he was a pro wrestler and his relatives were pro wrestlers. I don't know whether it was true or not, but he came up and suckered me from behind after he asked me to help him. He did put me in a sleeper hold. I really couldn't do anything. I was hunched down and had my coat on. I couldn't reach around and do anything. My coat and tie was getting in my way, and I was unconscious. He then told me that he then told the people in the front office that I slipped and fell and hit my head on the cabinet, and he tried to help me or something. And I was kind of dazed and confused. I didn't call the police because I already had incidents with the police where the police did not back me up, where I was getting thrown in jail for trespassing in Merrill Lynch. They first, 1986 or something, threw me in jail for trespassing in Merrill Lynch around 86, 87. They blindsided me in Kansas City, Missouri on the plaza where the Merrill Lynch office was. They came up from behind me, grabbed my arms from behind, almost broke them, pulled them up above my shoulder, and I was, put handcuffs on from behind me, bum rushed me. I spent the night in jail. My mom and dad were all acting, oh my gosh, There was a sign there that said private property. It was owned by J.C. Nichols, a publicly owned company. Merrill Lynch was a publicly owned company. I'd gone over 30 years with those faggots. They said Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner, Smith is the company I was in, which is privately owned, has nothing to do with Merrill Lynch that any individual can buy stock in. And the similar activities gone on with Swift Barney, where they said I raped and molested a bunch of women, some little faggot boys who they claimed to be the managers, a different one claiming to be the manager every time in court. Different judge every time in court, making up something different, all claiming to be the same person or a different person, whatever, who knows. They all just babble and, it's a joke, it's a mockery, it's communism. And then over there, Payne Weber, some guy named Sam Sabaugh, or who claimed to be Sam Sabaugh, where my daddy had a trust account with my name. I went into their office on College Boulevard, and this guy got in my face. He has an ugly tie and a mustache. He goes, "What's square root of 6.523412?" I laughed at him. I said, "Who cares? Who the hell are you? I own this place. Get out of my face." And he said he had a Harvard MBA and a PhD from MIT. And I kind of laughed at him with tears in my eyes, laughing so hard at this idiot. And I goes, "Oh, really? Is that true? I told you I own this place." He goes, "No, I'm lying. You don't own it on my computer." So then he had some girl at the front desk behind glass who was just, she goes, I left because this idiot was telling this girl to call the police to have me removed. And I already been through it, that owning the companies doesn't matter with the courthouse or with the police. So I just voluntarily left. They did the same thing at the plaza where this Bowers guy supposedly was a manager of the plaza branch of Payne Weber, who I think he told me used to work at Merrill Lynch. I think I had an interview there once when my daddy had $1 million account there or something, whoever my daddy is, and they said, well, they didn't want to hire me. I didn't pass their test or whatever to work there. And I had an account at Scottrade where I had like 100 shares of Payne Weber, and Scottrade was in the same building as Payne Weber. I went into Scottrade once, and some guy comes up with security guard, police, says, "The Payne Weber manager Bowers owns this building and doesn't want you in here. He says you're trespassing. Get out." I said, "I'm conducting a business at Scottrade here in this building where I have an account, and I own Payne Weber where he is employed and gets a paycheck. Tell him to come down here." He goes, "I didn't want to come down here. You threatened his life. If you don't leave, we're going to throw you in jail." Or, they're bringing out their guns and badges. Maybe they had fake guns, fake badges. They're a bunch of faggots and punks and liars. And I think I left at that point. All this stuff has resulted in me, and I don't know, spending several years in jail and mental hospitals over the last 25 years since my master's. I mean, not all at once, but if you add it all up together, it's several years. I'm bankrupt. What I will allow anyone in Kansas to do is pay me $5 billion a year. I'm too good to work for less than $5 billion a year. I think these hedge fund managers in the United States, California, or the East Coast, wherever they're located, different places are getting upwards over $1 billion a year. So I'm too good, definitely, to work for less than $1 billion a year. So if you got $1 billion a year, bring it on over. Get a limousine, suck my cock, faggots.